Hey family, how you guys doing? Just wanted to come on here and just talk a little bit. Just typing in the chat, just trying to say hey to fam. Look, I know you guys like talking about cooking again. No, I'm just talking about just life in general, because it says the one who cooks for the family controls the health of the family. Now, I know I've been speaking about health, and I know you got tired of health, and y'all want to really talk about what's going on in this world and what's the latest news about prepping and all that. Well, I sometimes I just say the wrong things on these lives, so I just decided not to say that. I just want to stick to health because you know these fact checkers be fact checking things and the facts don't add up. So I'm just going to stick to health and the herbs and all the other stuff. Y'all already know if y'all want to email me at support@verywisealternatives.com. But I'm just going to keep it general and just talk about health. And I don't know. I don't know if you had grandma, because, in our village, if we have when you grew up with around your family, when you grow up with your grandma, your grandpa, your aunts, uncles, that's if you have a big family, even if you have a small family, and you had to, had parents cooking, like both parents, both parents working, not cooking, but that helps too, especially when daddy be in there and they're throwing down. But we all know that, in this time frame, how can I put it? The health of what we eat and what we learn it from, what we eat at home. Because if you had a vegan family, if you had vegetarian family, if you had mainly meat eaters, because my home was a meat eating family. So, you learn about eating meat and you continue to eat meat, and then you teach your children to eat meat, and then we wondering why we sick and dying. I mean, let's just be honest. They say grass fed, so I'm gonna tell you grass fed. But it's just sometimes what you choose to eat, what you choose not to eat. But when you have grandma and other family members pitching in to teach you different things and showing you different things, everybody's not vegan, everybody's not vegetarian, everybody's not a meat eater, but you'll see those different aspects in people's lives, and you can see who's sick, who's not sick. You see how their lifestyle, you get to see an array of things in your life. You see it all. You see it all between the age of 5 to 16 or 20, when you really grow up around your family. And um y'all know, you see your small aunt, your heavy aunt, heavy grandma versus small grandma. I mean, that's if you with your grandparents on your father's side, your grandparents on your mother's side, and even if the great grandparents are alive, you actually see that dynamic of the health of the family. Because we all know that, you know whether you choose to eat home cooking or street food, you can see how you go out to eat. And I know we got some bad cooks in the family, but they just don't be the one that cook. But when you go out to eat, you see how, you go to these fast food restaurants, you get home, you got the bubble guts, and then when you go and you eat grandma food, you be like, whoo, grandma, this food is so good. And you want to lay down and go to sleep. But versus, well, if you eat like more fruits and vegetables versus meat, you could see you could see your health. You could see how sometimes you just feel sluggish and tired, and be like, ooh, this food's so good, I'm just gonna go to sleep and take a nap. And then you see the waist. Come on, y'all already see the waistline of people. And I'm not talking about the arms, the head. I'm just talking about the midsection of the family, from the people that cook in the household. I'm trying to keep this real nice, because people are like, oh, you skinny, you ain't gonna gain weight. But between like I said, in the military, between, like, I want to say 2010 to 2015, I did pick up some. I picked up like maybe like 30 pounds, and it was just that unhealthy weight. And when I picked up that weight, I didn't really pay attention to the the arthritis. the inflammation, the the gurge real bad, and all the other surgeries that I was pending. But you know, you sitting down and you always on a couch and you're not doing exercise, you do pick up that weight. Our bodies is different, everybody's body is different, so your storage of that extra fat that you're supposed to be, that you have for later on, most people get it in around their midsection. A lot of us like a pinch more than an inch. A lot of us get on our calves, and all of us get it under our arms, especially, shows your age. But all in general, it's when you pick on that extra weight and you pick up that extra fat and you pick on that extra stuff, look what happens to the family. Look what happens to the health of the family. Look what happens to the overall, just, if you think about, like, if you think about how grandma died, what granddaddy died from, what your great grandparents died from, did they eat mainly in the house? Did they eat outside the house? Because the person who cooks in the house rules the health of the family, teaches you, like if your mother cooks or your father cooks, um, that basically, see if you're going to have high blood pressure, clogged arteries. Let's just, let's just get down to it. And I'm not trying to have the live long, but let's get down to it. As far as about your blood being dirty, I mean, it's rare. I know in my family, there was no herbalist. There was no one telling me about the herbs. There was no one telling me about, oh, why you got arthritis. Why you got high blood pressure. Your daughter have high blood pressure. You didn't really hear that, because when you go to the doctor, they just deal with the signs, symptoms, and they give you a Band-Aid, and they don't go to the root cause of things. And then you still cooking, you still cooking, and you still like, call your parents or you call your grandparents, and they be like, yeah, I got high blood. Yeah, girl, it runs in the family. Look, Aunt Susie, Aunt Betty, all them had it. You're gonna get it, so you're gonna be all right. You just go on there and season them greens, and don't forget the fat bag hog maw. That's what we talk. But let's say if you did have an herbalist or a vegan or vegetarian in your house, and they telling you, that's make you sick. That's where you get the inflammation from. That's why grandma died. You get those conversations, those real gut wrenching, those gut check conversations. And those are conversations nobody wants to have. Nobody wants to have. And then, like when I be talking about having a party, and I'm like, I'm not having no meat. I'm not having really no potato chips and stuff like so what are you going to have? I don't want no cauliflower steaks. I'm like, well, if you don't want to come, I know I get all my herbalist friends to come, Look, I threw that over there. But you just think about the last party you went through. Okay, so y'all already know what holidays coming up in July. You already know, okay, and then you got Memorial Day weekend, and then now what today is, and everybody got that famous ham, the famous ham. I'm gonna get off that subject, but just think about when you go there and what's there. What's the favorite thing we give our children when we have a barbecue? We give them that famous hot dog, and you be like, that hot dog has is it 3 or 2? It's 2 different names, especially when it's it don't say all beef, but okay, so when the last time you saw a hot dog? I'm trying to see. I haven't really shopped for hot dogs. I'm like, when you saw a hot dog and it says grass-fed only, did you ever say hot dog? Who in the chat? Who in the chat seen it and it said grass-fed only hot dogs? I think I got to go to the supermarket and check that, see if there's some grass-fed hot dogs. But I just want to just show you that that's where your health comes from. That's where you first learn. That's where you first get taught from who cooks in the house. It's mainly mom. But, like I said, if you got the dual parent in the household and they both work, then you see a combination, or if they can't afford a maid, or if you do have the in-laws, or, if the child, like, My children 8 years apart. So my children 8 years apart. So my oldest daughter would start cooking. My youngest daughter would, you know, Quasia would feed Deidre, so they learn how to cook themselves. But they cooked the same thing I cooked. They, they didn't change. And um, then I looked at their health, and I just, I speak of it all the time, because the time when my daughter had high blood pressure, I mean, I just like froze in my tracks. Mind you, I'm having achy knees, achy back, and I'm like, okay, so Arthur visits everybody. I remember them being gay commercials. Yeah, them being gay commercials. It's like normal. It's like we know we're gonna get arthritis, but no one really said where arthritis come from. You're like, okay, mama had arthritis, granddaddy, this is normal, so I'm going to get arthritis. I'm going to get this. We're not even thinking about magnesium. We're not even thinking about vitamin D. All we know is we're going to get arthritis. All we know is I'm going to keep eating this bread. I'm going to put some mustard or some mayonnaise. I know that Miracle Whip, be slapping on there, take some ham and throw it on there, or just a bread, ham, and some that government cheese. You slice it down a big thick piece, and you have a ham sandwich. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But I just said, I remember when I got the news that my daughter had high blood pressure, and I'm like, it like crushed me. I'm like, dang, what am I doing wrong? I felt like a bad parent. I'm like, shit, I should have checked myself. And then the advice you get from your family, instead of them saying, well, did you go to an herbalist? Did you get some alternatives? All I said, well, look, y'all know this is not medication. I ain't got no medication bottles, and I should have had some props. But they be like, well, did you get the blood pressure? Which one? Which one you got? And these are the conversations you have sometimes in your family. Look, I know it's like TMI. I'd be like, okay, so that's the one you got. Well, girl, I don't know that. Maybe you should check and get this one, because this one's working for me. And this is a medication talk that I had. I know TMI, but anyway, this is the conversation I have. And then when you find out it's a water pill, I'm like, well, damn, shouldn't it be gaining weight? And then some of these medications, it already constipates you, but you get this medication, and your heart's like, dang, my child got to take this how many times a day? And then you read the side effects. And I know I talked about this before, and I'm like, dang, my baby got to take this shit. And instead of just saying, Quasia, you need, instead of just saying you need to go out there and we need to get our exercise on. I remember I did say that I started giving her, ginger. I started giving her mainly garlic, lifesaver. But it's just the point of the conversation that you have and how you feel as a parent. Then you start checking yourselves. And then I was like, man, I just felt horrible. But if I did have an herbalist in my family, if I did have someone to really pull my coattail and like, look, she don't need to be on that medication. What she need to be on, what she need to do. I mean, that's the conversation I wish I had, because, all we think about is, okay, I got to get this job, and I got to get this money because of, daycare, car insurance, you think about all this and other things that we're doing, and we don't think about, okay, so what am I cooking? What am I really bringing in this household? What am I teaching them to eat and how to eat? Because we know even the school food is trash. And I remember sometimes being lazy. I mean, I don't know, y'all. We gotta really check for ourselves and own our own bullshit. So I'd be like, man, here goes some lunch money for them to eat the crap in school. And the kids, they're gonna eat the hot dog, the pizza, the hamburger, because it's good. I mean, I grew up on it. But if I really look at what I grew up on versus did I eat in the street? No. So my health is different than my children's health, because when we try to change from what our parents taught us, we like, we're gonna get our kids to eat out more. And my children, I look at, they did eat out more, because I was like, okay, we can afford to go out to eat now. I know it's TMI, but having a real conversation, and you can have the real conversation with you and your family and look at the dynamics of your family versus their health, what's going on, who died of what and how they died. I was just thinking about, because we got to check ourselves. I'm constantly healing. I'm always going to continue healing. I did Very Wise Alternatives to make sure that I heal me. Very Wise Alternatives is healing me, and if I can teach you how I heal myself, that's the only way that you'll benefit. And you get him like, okay, so she did that, she did that, she did this. But me as a parent, I'm looking at my children. I'm looking at, well, I only ate the food that my mother cooked. My mother cooked, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's what I ate. Yes, during school, you do sometimes get the free lunches, but your parents would send you to school with a bag lunch. It'd be all greasy bag. Y'all know. You got the aluminum foil. And sometimes how you be embarrassed, be like hiding your lunch. You don't want someone to see your lunch. And you be like, man, forget that. I'm gonna show my food, show my lunch, and all this other stuff. Sometimes you both, sometimes you're not. But it's just checking your ego. It's just checking your whatever. Where you're like, forget them. I'm gonna eat the way I eat because this is beneficial to my body. This is healthier to my body. Eating some fruit and stuff. But overall, it just shows you like reality. It shows you like, man, am I doing this right? How you sit at night and your child got a fever and you sitting there, all them thoughts come in your head. It's not till you get the symptoms, or the diagnosis. That's what I meant to say. My brain's on still back when my daughter first got diagnosed. But when you get when she was sick, when you get the diagnosis from the doctors, it kind of like punches you in the gut, and you be like, well, let me do this, let me do that, let me check this, let me check that. But sometimes, we don't do that. Sometimes, we we don't do that. We just try to continue surviving. And a lot of us, we just surviving. We're not living. And I just remember going back there, being in the army, really not really having the how can I put it? I really didn't have the support that I really had. I mean, the really support. It was like a lot of a loneliness, far as, going through the military, going through your career. You got your battle buddies, but you have the how can I put it? You have the friends that you're with in whatever duty station you're in. That's the army life. But we're so focused on, making $1, making sure that they're warm, they have clothes. We don't really look at, well, are they drinking enough water? Did they take their vitamins this morning? Or how much fruit did I give them? Was I thinking about how much vegetables they was eating? I wasn't. You just go through life and you're just, we're just, like I said, surviving. We're just surviving. We're not living. We're not checking things to check the check. We're just living check to check, stressed about this, stressed about that. And I remember when I used to like just force them to sit down and have a meal. That was like something that we just had to do. Like on Saturdays, I would make this big old breakfast, and I think about that breakfast and I'm like, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, what I cooked. And it's just you thinking. And this video is just for you to think about what you feed your children, what you feed your family, the overall health of your family, the overall things that we're doing and not doing. Because it's like, are you surviving? Are you living? Are we living paycheck to paycheck? What can I ease off? Really sitting down with the child and just being honest with your children. I'm like, look, mommy can't afford this right now. You got to change up and add some words in there, because we want currency and things to be eased and things to be better. So it's the words that we say, and it's just making sure that we don't limit the child. Have the child be more expressive, have the children be more expressive. Not I mean, it doesn't matter how many you have in your family. Teach them different things that they do. Add more fruits and vegetables, add the spices, add the herbs. Sit down and teach them how to cut things, use a knife properly to make sure they're cutting, what I'm saying? Because just putting those little extra things is saving their lives, because I was thinking about who really thinks about cleaning their blood. Who really think about, do I have leaky gut? Like I said, what I thought leaky gut was just totally crazy. But sometimes you just got to check yourself. You just got to check ourselves. We just got to get back into being proactive instead of reactive. And what I learned in the military was like PMCS, and that's preventive maintenance checks and services. And then I look at you as, are we, let's be honest, are we doing preventive maintenance checks and services on our body? Yes, like I said, we make sure our phone is charged. We make sure the battery's good. We make sure we got in our purse or our pocket, which, don't put these cell phones in your pocket, please. It cringe. I know, Violas, we talking about food, but I'm thinking about the health of your eggs and your sperm, because don't put this in your pocket. That's just a public safety announcement. Just want to put it cringe. That's like a pet peeve to see this in your pocket or on your lap. It's good. Just put it on a desk or put it away from your body. Put it away from your body. But going back to having those checks and balances and services of our body, we don't. Like you get your car oil changed, same thing, clean your blood. If you don't realize how bad, how dirty, how all that stuff, and especially your lymphatic system, cleaning your blood, cleaning your lymphatic system. Do y'all know your lymphatic system is like the sewer system? And we don't check that. And that's what I want you to clean. That is the main thing I want you to clean. I mean, if y'all just think about your lymphatic system, that's why some of us are jacked up. Then we wonder why our body don't absorb the vitamins and minerals. And then are you giving your children minerals? Are you giving your children vitamins? And I'm not just saying going to get some gummy. Come on. Gummies. You already know it's like a pet peeve. And the only reason why I'm saying the gummies is, okay, so by the time you make the gummies, right? And y'all know, if it's not the vegan gummies, then what is it? What is it? So by the time you make them gummies and they eating it, you really think it's giving them the vitamins and nutrients their body needs? And like I said, it's how the gummies made. No slight to anybody that makes gummies, but I'm just saying, we buy our kids these gummies, but we're not really checking. We're just looking at, okay, these are gummies. They're going to eat it. No. Just like you make them take that cod liver oil, the castor oil, make them take them vitamins, and I said, make them. Yes. It's across the board. This vitamin you must take, this mineral you must take, because I don't know if y'all saw the last video that I posted far as about, children, and y'all met Herbalist Sakina, when she made that statement about this generation, our children will outlive. I mean, our parents will outlive the children. It just like had a shock in me, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. It's like you think about it, because I'm so focused on adults and the knowledge that I'm giving you. I'm wanting you to change your the food that you bring in the house, because it's for your children. It's for you to speak of it so they can hear you and they can say, oh, maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe I got a stomach ache, and tell you and give you, they can give you better, they can really tell you really what's going on. Because I remember one time my daughter, she wore glasses. Let me get back. She wore glasses, and when we went to the eye doctor, she was like, Mommy, these glasses don't even work. And it was like, you wait a year, but I didn't realize her eyes was getting worse. Like we talking about the first 90 days, she needed a better prescription, but she didn't tell me. And our children don't tell you until you're like in front of the doctor or in front of strangers, that they embarrass you. Y'all know. But getting back to making sure that they take vitamins and minerals, we really don't. All we know is they eating like us. They eating like us. I made it. I'm in my 50s. They're going to be all right. And it's like, no, because I retired out the military, and I didn't learn until 2017, really, yeah, 2017. I got out in 2015 that I had low bone density. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, was I thinking about magnesium? Hell no. Manganese. I wasn't thinking about any of that. And then now the fruits and vegetables are way different. This is the main reason why it's good to go to a farmer's market versus, a regular grocery store. Because the farmer's market, the food just came off of the tree, the vine out the ground, versus I don't know how long that shit was in the supermarket, how long it took to pick, to transport, to get into the supermarket when the food's already dead. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Versus live food. So hence that's why you go get the fresh fruits and vegetables versus, and same thing when you cook in a house. You're more healthier to cook home cooking than street food. I know you do got some restaurants or some mom and pop stores that do cook like, grandma cook. But do we find them? I mean, think about it. Do you really find them? Do you really like I know you go to restaurants and then when you ask, hey, can you not give me dairy or can you not put eggs in it? And people like, you should alter your meal. And then y'all know when y'all go to the restaurant and they give you that menu, you and they're looking at the menu like, you be like, I'll just get the sides. Can I get some spinach? Yeah, I know that's how I go. I said, I want the spinach and then I'll get the yams and then I'll get, some okra or, I'll just get two greens, some cabbage. Cause it's rare I find some turnip greens and collard greens, that's the restaurants I really want to go to. So I'll get the sides, but you're in there trying to decide and then you're like, that got dairy, that got egg, I don't know what kind of oil. And it's like people like, I can't stand going to the store and people shop like that, or they go around and change the menu. Come on now. People make a big thing of it, but we don't think about the health of that person. We don't think about they got clogged arteries or a bad heart. We don't think about do dairy really kill their system. And when I mean kill it, it's already inflamed. So if your body is allergic to dairy, some wheats, some nuts, and then we trying to be cute and like, okay, so I'll just eat it this time. And I know how to take care when I get home. I'm going to eat it this time because you're going out there, you're just killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're just hurting yourself. And I just don't like movies like that. And they be like, ew, that person's stuck up. That person's this. And I'm like, well, what about their health? They never zone in on their health. Y'all know. I don't know if y'all want to put in the chat, but they don't own in on the health. They don't think about, okay, what eggs do to this person? What do dairy do to this person? And then you go and look at all these studies about the eggs and you put the studies about the dairy and you be like, okay, so is it linked to ADD? Is it linked to, cancer? Is it linked? Is it, you read these studies and then you're like, dang, that's what that report say, So it's the main reason why I just wanted to talk about the health, the health of who cooks in the house, rules the health in the house. They do. Because, sometimes you may have a vegan mama and a meat eating dad or vice versa. And then the children be like, I like what daddy cook. But the kids be like, okay, but I like what mama cook. And then, I'm trying to keep it clean. Then, you got a little division, but you just look at the health of the person. You just look at the overall health of the person because, like I see Moonflower Herbal Wellness is on here. And, we had a private conversation on a private Zoom call. And, she brought up the health of her family. And I was thinking about the health of my family. I'm like, dang, Luna, I wished, I was like, I wish I grew up in there. But, we all cannot. You already know. Yeah. So I'm kind of like stuck on this. I could say we don't choose our family, but Actually, we do. I'm gonna leave it there because you actually choose your family. But what I'm saying is, like, far as their cooking and who cooks and who who does the cooking, whether it's grandma, granddaddy, great grandma, or your great aunt. Because some people got aunts that throw down in the kitchen in their house because they're elderly and they need a place to stay because their funds are not good, so they help out the family. So they're the one that cooks in the family. And then it's like, well, do they give you potatoes all the time? Is it rice in every meal instead of, switching it up to some quinoa, some wild rice, and, different things? It's like, what is her main meal? Does she put, eggs in everything? Because, we got people that put eggs in everything. But then you look at the people that, are they using a lot of herbs, a lot of onions, and because onions. Y'all know I did a whole video on onions. Them onions be like the best. It just brings out that flavor. And then, like, Mama D taught me about the liquid smoke. And I'm like, yes, because I'm so used to making greens with ham hocks, I smoked turkey. So, you learn things, and I be listening to Moonflower Herbal Wellness, and she be saying different things, and I be like, man, you do what? And you do what? She was talking about how she made her biscuits and some stuff for her husband. I'd be like, dang. So, it's just things. She actually knows how to substitute, how to keep the bread together, how to keep, different meals and cakes and stuff together. And I'd be like, you do what? And don't, egg substitute, all this stuff. And I'd be like, so you made the muffins. Y'all go on her YouTube channel, and she'll be showing different things. And I'm like, okay, I gotta try that. I'd be like, I'm gonna get there. Because, I could say my mom, everything was meat. Everything, the main stuff was meat. So, and like I said, we don't like, you do what I believe. And I'm reading about it and realizing you do pick your family. You do. But some people don't. They're like, no, you don't. Okay, but whatever. That's what I believe in. But when you know how you sit down, so when you're eating, what's the main thing that your family always say? You sit down and eat, and they're like, don't waste my food. They'd be like, eat the black eyed peas. Eat that, But I remember mother always screaming about the vegetables, but because we meat eaters. I mean, I was a meat eater. I just want to eat the meat first. I don't know who all want to admit that, but we do. We eat the meat first. We just tear that meat up and we leave them sides and be trying to put it in a napkin, throw it in the trash. When that's the main thing we should eat. That's the main thing. The main thing we should eat. And we don't think about it. We don't think about it at all. And, I know you're like, Vio, you just sharing all your business. No, I'm just showing you how, from me looking at my health and me looking at what my children's health, and me looking at my grandparents, my mom's health and my grandparents' health, and so that's what I was doing. I was like, let me check this out. Let me look at it, because my mother rarely ate out. She didn't start going out to eat until she paid herself, had the money to get herself out to eat, when she a teenager versus when she first had me, unless she's going out on a date. Hence, when you go out to eat. Hence, I was thinking about my health and myself, and I was like, we rarely went out to eat. It was like, it had to be like a graduation, no birthday. So it had to be like a graduation, a major event in the household. So you don't just go out to eat. And plus, my mother told me the truth, baby, mommy just don't have it right now. But when things get better, or, when she save up, then we'll go out to eat. But like I said, she made it like a special occasion. So going out to eat was like, man, it's a treat. But, then I had to wait till I was of dating age, which she really didn't want me to date. But I had to wait of dating age to really go out to eat. Unless, you got a part-time job, and then you out there eating all them pizzas, hamburgers, and burgers, and you go home and, you be like, dang, why my stomach hurt? Y'all know. You don't get it to after to realize what your family was actually saving you from. because my mother, when she was, reared up, she had food from the garden. Yeah, food from the garden. So if you have that family that got food from the garden, man, their health is different. Their health is different. So you look at it, their health is totally different. Totally different. But like I was speaking about preventive mating checks and services, that's what I learned in the Army. And I'm like, well, dang, I should use that for the health of my family about food. Yeah, I'm retired, like 6 years out the Army, and I'm sitting here just thinking about that now, and I'm like, dang, if I thought about it then, my kids' health would be different. My kids' health would be different. It really would. My daughter, she would have way been off high blood pressure medicine, So I just wanted to address that because high blood pressure is a silent killer. And we can admit how many people we know that have high blood pressure. You'd be like, dang, is that the epidemic? It should be high blood pressure, heart disease, right? Herbalist Luna, that should be the epidemic versus this man-made stuff. But is heart disease, think about it, heart disease, high blood pressure, all this lupus, asthma, is that man-made? Is that man-made? Come on now, is that man-made? We out here slaughtering these animals, and I said this to eat grass-fed. So if you gotta have it, grass-fed. So I said it, but if you can, I would leave that meat alone. I would leave the meat alone and do substitute. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do a cookbook, but it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before I do a cookbook because I get all this free stuff off the internet. I mean, it's free, it's there, Then I got, beautiful friends like, Herbalist Luna, Purple Sage, Healthy Living, Mama D that be showing me these things. I be like, okay, why reinvent the wheel? Why create something? Yes, you could make some funds off it, but I'm like, man, and sometimes, I'm just cooking for me, and I'd be like, well, I made a lot. This is for a couple of days, but you say how I dodge that subject because I don't want to do a cookbook, but it's just a lot, family. Look, I already know that a lot of people look at the title of this and be like, I ain't got time to cook. Yes, you do. You got time to cook, just like we got time to sit in front of that damn TV. And we got to pull ourselves back. We got to pull ourselves back because you can actually exercise and you can actually do some strength training while you're cooking. You can. Ask me how I know. I do it when I brush my teeth. I'll be doing squats. I'll be doing leg lifts. I'll be using my left hand to make sure I use my creative side of my brain. All these things that, to help you in corporate things. That's what I'm doing. The preventive maintenance, the PMCS, preventive maintenance checks and services. You go in there and check that off. I did my exercise. I got my walk in. Herbalist Luna, she'll tell you, Moon, look, Andrew, I be thinking about your old name, but Moon Herbal Wellness. She tells you about drinking that water. She tells you about drinking water, give you benefits. All that's on her YouTube channel and her Instagram. Got the information right there. And that's why I be sharing. If you go on my Facebook, I share everybody's videos. I be like, why go and make my own? I'm gonna just share hers, Go there and support her. Let me just put her out there because she know more than me. Look, she know way more than me. So don't think I don't be peeking at here, sis. What about this? What about that? But, and I'm, like I said, I'm just thinking about the health of your family, the health of your future family, the health of, people that passed on. So I think about that all the time. I'd be like, man, they didn't have to leave that early. Even though, they think they got too many people in this world, but some of our family's members didn't have to die. Same thing like with cancer and all this other stuff. Imagine just having some more time with your grandparents. Imagine actually meeting your great-grandparents, or not great-grand. Well, some people do have their great-grand still alive, but just imagine spending time with your great-grandparents. Your mother's mothers. Just imagine just that wealth of knowledge. Then I don't care. You would have definitely know how to grow vegetables because like I was reading, I've been studying, I'm always reading, going down rabbit holes. It's already a fact that other countries Across the board, their children know how to grow vegetables. They do. One thing we don't teach them to grow vegetables, we don't teach them to shoot, and we don't teach them self-defense and swimming. That should not be curricular activity, extracurricular activity. That should be that should be mandatory in all our public schools. I know, like Viola, you tripping. No, it should be across the board. Across the board, it should be. It should be. It really should. Because man, I just was thinking, I was like, how they died and they didn't have to die, and are they getting their minerals? Were they taken? Because come on, CMOS did not come out until Dr. Sebi was talking about CMOS. Let's be honest. Dr. Sebi was talking about CMOS. I know Herbalist Cream has CMOS. People are like, CMOS? I didn't start taking CMOS until Herbalist Cream. Didn't know nothing about CMOS. Like, what? Same thing with Black Seed Oil. I'm like, it do what? It helped me with my allergies. What? A lot of things you woke up and you're like, man. And me being an herbalist, I just learned about onion. I'm like, dang. And I wasn't really putting onions in all my foods. And onions, man, look, I'm just telling you, family. I'm just telling you, because the person who cooks in a family creates this atmosphere, this everything, because this is what you believe. Come on. I said it before. Our parents show us so much. You learn so much between birth and 6-7 years old, and you already know you're gonna be a meat eater. Because I look at these commercials and I see these little, everybody, they cute, but they were showing this little fried chicken, this little boy running to the fried chicken, somebody taking his first steps, and I'm like, why couldn't it be some grapes? My mind. It's a cute video. But why had to be fried chicken? And look, it was the extra crispy. I was like, what the hell? I was like, so is my baby going to have some high blood pressure? Because look, high blood pressure just don't come overnight, family. It do not come. It builds. All that inflammation, all that mucus, all that toxic blood, and slowing you down. Our lymphatic system's slow and clogged, and our colon's clogged, and our sugar's like insulin. Like I ain't producing shit because you are eating too much sugar. We're tearing up our bodies, and then we're like, doctor, fix me. The doctor should be saying, come on, I know, Viola don't say it. The doctor should be saying, if you stop eating that red meat and frying with all that bad grease, you'll feel better. But you'll probably slap your doctor if you say that. Just saying. I just hate when people leave the hospital, they feeling great, they doing great, then they go back to eat the same thing that just made them sick. I know, Angela, I know. I know, but man, I mean, yeah. Just like, you learn about kombucha, how you can make your own kombucha. And if that doesn't have the stuff that helps your microbiome and get your good gut bacteria, I don't know what it is, but I'm learning it in this group. And what was surprising to me, me talking about herbals and this lifestyle. And I know Violet will be talking about cooking. It is cooking. If you make your own kombucha, that could be, Angela, if I'm right, am I wrong? That could be a meal by itself, and not saying it's a meal, but meaning sometimes you ain't got to eat lunch. If you got to have breakfast and dinner, which I throw those things out, you're just having a meal. Food is just giving you energy that your body needs. But we created all these different things and all these different stuff that we didn't need to create, because that's what make us sick in the first place. And yeah. I'm gonna tone it down. Because man, I just think about a lot of family members died of cancer in my family, and I ain't hearing that bullshit saying, oh, it's hereditary. Only if we eat the same thing. And what you think we did? What you think I did? How you think my daughter got high blood pressure? It's like, man, You know, am I a bad mom? Well, at least I didn't keep continuing. I stopped. I changed. But I felt like a horrible parent. I promise you I did. I promise I did. Promise I did. Because look, only reason why I brought up kombucha, because I got the book. You know, my girl Marion, I don't know if she's listening, but she told us about kombucha. She showed us how to make it. I was like, I can make my own kombucha tea. And look, they even got kombucha gummies. They got so much of kombucha. Enough life changer. Enough. Come on. Life changing. We're talking about life changing things. So imagine, because I know I put a clip up. I don't know if I did it on Facebook or Instagram. I've been trying to keep my social media up, which is hard. And I was talking about herbal teas. If this ain't a herbal tea, I don't know. Y'all see what moonflower. Yes, the moonflower. Talked about. It's the truth. You need this. A lot of people like, but it's made of yeast. Look, this the tea you should be drinking. This the tea. Now I'm not recommending the book, but this book talks you about it. And look, it's fermented tea. Remember, I keep saying you need fermented foods. Grow your own SCOBY, and you can get in the mail. They'll mail it to you. Look, it's so much stuff that we can do. You talking about preventive maintenance checks and services? Kombucha. When I was talking about the sea moss, goji berry, bladderwrack sea moss, just man, it's just just open up a whole world to where if you sit there, like sometimes I don't eat because I'll take my herbals supplements, I'll take some raw herbs, I'll take some teas, I'll be drinking my kombucha and I'll be like, I'm full. Look, guys, you get this fullness, and we get this fullness. I know you'd be like, Viola, I'm not full. I need it because your body's still geeked up on, you got to have the meat, you got to have the potatoes, you got to have the food. That's gluttony. Yeah, I know that's like, it says a sin, but that's gluttony. And we all just, we all overstuffing ourselves, causing traffic jams. And you think about, same thing when your mama fix your plate. And you be like, can I have seconds? And, instead of them saying no, they be like, sure, baby. What you want? And you be like, I have another piece of chicken. And you be all grinning. I have another pork chop. And put extra gravy on there. Because I used to do it. I'm telling you, I used to do it. You don't be asking for, can I get some more collard greens? This is the one without pork. Without the smoked turkey. We don't be asking for extreme beans. We don't ask for beets. We don't ask for that. We don't ask for another side of salad. We don't ask for that. We ask for the meat and the meat only. So, yeah. Look, family, please like the video. Please like, because it'll circulate more, but I don't even be saying that. It's like sometimes I don't care, but I was like, let me just say that. Because I really want more people to get this. I want more people to get this. Because when we bring meat into the household versus more fruits and vegetables, you already know everybody gonna go to the meat. You already know that's the first thing that go with the barbecue. You be like, we got all this salad. Like, y'all know what salad we have when we have the barbecue. You have the lettuce and the tomatoes that go in a hamburger. Come on, that's what you have. That's your salad. Versus when you have the bowl of salad, like, I'm not gonna eat it because there's no dressing. The dressing is what kills the salad, because a lot of people got more dressing than salad. I know, but it's just crazy. I just want to make sure I just said it. But if y'all got questions, look, I'll answer some questions. Let me see. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support, Herbalist Luna. I really, really do, because man, sis, let me see if there's any questions. But yeah, I'm just going to go off Luna. Yeah, we do teach our children. We teach our children because they see what we do and they're going to mimic. It's like we know they mimic the bad things, but Make sure the good outweigh the bad, because some of us got foul mouth, like I did. I had foul mouth. But if we show them more fruits and vegetables, especially the fruits, and it just it just they'll make better decisions when they get out your house. And then when they go out to eat, and then when they in that dating age, which you don't want them to be, but in that dating age, they go out to eat, and they're like, I'll just have a salad then, and then they'll have vegetables, or they'll pick a vegan restaurant or a vegetarian restaurant to go to, or they may pick that spouse that eat the same as them. I had to throw that in there, but we teach our children to eat meat. We teach our children to select these different things, because right now, when the last time you cleaned your blood or even thought about your blood? When the last time you even checked if you had parasites? Like I said, it'll be the grandparents, because they got it from their grandparents about the Geritol. Yeah, I remember Geritol. But anyway, to know about the castor, the castor. I was getting ready to say the name of the product. Instead of giving the turpentine and castor oil, the grandparents know that. Your mother know that, and your father know. They're like, I hated that shit. I'm not giving that to my kids. When you be like, wait a minute. So the main thing that they need to help them fortify their body, clean their body, kill them parasites, you take out, because you're like, you don't want to force your child. So you telling me it's okay for them to run around with parasites, make them all jacked up. And y'all know, because parasites, they want sugar. So what you think they're going to do? They're going to make you want sugar. They're going to change your whole diet. And you're going to be eating sugar and wonder why you can't fill up, get full, because you're feeding the parasites. And you're not getting no nutrients. You're not getting nothing, because you're feeding them parasites. Your blood's dirty. You're getting sicker and sicker, instead of, teaching them. Well, it's time to get some castor oil. Then they'll tell their children, it's time to get some castor oil. You come on. Yeah, I know. Springtime, we should be doing it every season, but some do it just during the spring and during the winter, but you need to do it every season. Yeah. And it's a method. It's a method to this madness. It's a method to this castor oil and turpentine. But I would rather give them castor oil more than the turpentine. But at least I would say twice a year castor oil and turpentine, and 4 times a year the castor oil. It all depends. It all depends on if you're cleaning your food, especially your fruits and vegetables, and what kind of meat really giving the babies, what kind of meat. Because, it's like, you think about like the top, like you don't want them to have pork at all. I mean, at all. If it was chicken, and I'm not talking about seafood. If it was chicken, the beef, and the turkey, I would have them have the turkey. Before seafood, I would even seafood's out. Even the seafood's out. Even the seafoods. Yeah. I'd rather eat the sea vegetables. Eat the sea vegetables. Yeah, I know it's sea vegetables, right? That's where you get the sea moss. But I'd rather eat the sea vegetables, and keep getting that fermented foods, get your probiotics and prebiotics. We don't think about that. But getting back to when I was speaking of when, I don't know if you've seen the video, when I was just looking at our children may die before the parents. If you look at the studies, it's true, because there's a lot of babies being born, sick. It's just, I know it's a sensitive subject, but it's the foods change, madness in this world. I'm gonna leave that loaded. But we don't think about that. We don't think about, are they getting the fruits and vegetables? Are they getting the vitamins and minerals out of those fruits and vegetables? And it's where we buying them from. Because if you growing it yourself, man, you're good, because they're getting alive. They're getting alive. They're getting the good nutrients that they're supposed to get. Because right now, we just eating it to for them parasites. We eating because it's good. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's good. We go in there and mix stuff and shouldn't be mixing stuff. Y'all know. I'm not even gonna go into that, but like we go get this big burger, and then we put the cheese on there, and then we put the the mayonnaise. I know some people like the mayonnaise. Some people want an extra burger. They want two big burgers, the all beef. I didn't say, vegetarian and vegan burger. I'm talking about they get the burger. So, and they get the lettuce and tomatoes. And sometimes the lettuce and tomatoes, they fall out. But what y'all do? Y'all pick it up and put it back on that sandwich? No, you get that sandwich and you eating and it tastes so good because the food is good. The food is good. But just think, how about if you didn't put the bread and you just put the whole beef patty, or just cut the beef patty in half if you got to have that meat? You know me, I've been trying to tell you, cut it in half and just eat that, and then put the lettuce and tomatoes on there and a slice of pickles. Y'all feel me? And eat it like that. And you be like, Viola, that ain't the bird, ain't that, it don't taste good. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'd rather you have that, or you could just take that meat and this little small piece and put cucumbers. Just cut the cucumbers and eat it. It's so many different ways of eating that. And then you add, instead of doing lettuce, put some spinach, put some, put some other greens up there. Then hence you can have, you eating vegetables. It could be like you don't eat vegetables in for breakfast. Why not? Why we don't just teach the kids that? Vegetables. Then more vegetables at lunch if you gotta have it, more vegetables at dinner. Hence, that's where, your aunts they be like, Mama, Granddaddy gave me, or Aunt Susie gave me lima beans for breakfast. And you be like, did you eat them? And you be like, but that's not what you cook. But that was like the best thing for them to eat in the morning, because we don't realize, like I was, after you, I would say go on the light side of earth. We stay on the dark side, being blinded. We're just giving our kids sugar, putting that bowl of cereal, and then we putting the dairy milk and wondering why their stomach hurting. Like, you be all right. Just go poop. It's bad. No, it's bad. But we giving them sugar. And then at lunchtime, they got sugar. And then you wonder why they up and down, they crashing, not learning nothing, not paying attention. And, because they so creative. We creative. We're creative. But sugar rush. And then you wondering why, scratching their butt, they can't sleep at night. They got these hives and stuff, and you're not relating it to the milk, you're not relating it to the food, you're not relating it to the sugar, because a muffin, if you're not eating, Moonflower Herbal Wellness muffins, and you got the muffin that has the egg, the sugar, the wheat, or the white flour, that's nothing but sugar. That's a loaded sugar. That you might as well just take some sugar and pour it like this and drink it, because that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing to our bodies. We're doing to our children, and then we wonder why they can't focus. But anyway, I'm gonna see if there's any questions. Yes. I was looking at Herbalist Luna. She says, I was lucky enough to have grandparents and great grandparents. So she had them in her lifetime. When she was younger, she was reared by both of them, and they already knew the bullshit on me. Come on, let's be real. They already knew about the foods, the meats, because if you didn't raise that chicken, if you didn't raise that hog or that cow or that turkey, what did they eat? Grains? Was it all grass fed? That's why I was like getting things from New Zealand and getting things from other countries that they had no GMO. There was a couple of countries that I knew that was no GMO. Guess what they are now? It's sad. I mean, and no one really thinks about GMO. No one, because I was like, but it's cheaper. When you counting your pennies and counting your money, you be like, that versus that. I got to get the kids shoes. This prom coming up, graduation, and you got to pay insurance and daycare. You be like, I need to get a second job. I would get a second job, get a business, but you go through and you checking your pennies like, we're gonna, and then we go get the GMO food instead of realizing that we're just eating too damn much. I mean, I know I talked about we just eat too much. The size of your plate should be the size of your plate. And if you're still hungry, drink some water. Drink some water, drink some herbal tea, drink some kombucha, a little cup, just 8 ounces, shoot. That's all, family. That's all. If y'all don't have any questions, look, please okay. Yes. My Cash App, I know people want to know the Cash App. It's Very Wise 2020. It's Very Wise 2020. I'm gonna do it this, I don't mind if y'all send a donation, but y'all know they tripping on these, they tripping on these Cash Apps. And that's why I don't even put it. So, man, I don't even know my daughter's Cash App. I'd rather you bless my grandbaby. I'll just forward it to my grandbaby. If y'all want to bless me, or if y'all go back to another video, I have my daughter's Cash App on there. Yeah, I really don't. Yeah. You said, okay, so Henry says, what not 3 meals a day? Henry, can you, Mr. Ross, can you ask that question again? You said, what not 3 meals a day? I just want to make sure I answer that question. Because what I was just pretty much saying is we eat. The only reason why we're eating is to keep ourselves alive, So sometimes we eat too much, we eat wrong. So, you look at the heading of this, well, let me get my words right because I'm going too fast. If you look at what I call this video, it's the person who cooks rules the health of the family. And should it be breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Should you eat 3 meals a day? I mean, think about it. Should you? People don't really look at that. Should you eat? When eating breakfast, you breaking a fast. You said we are to eat 3 meals a day. No, what I was saying is you really shouldn't eat 3 meals a day. Okay, so if we go back to when not everybody, I can't even really answer this because I don't know what happened like in the 1900s, because I've seen a lot of buildings. I still seen big buildings. I've seen cities. So, but if you did live in a country and we grew our own fruits and vegetables, just think you got up like you got up when the sun was up. So you got up like 4 o'clock in the morning, getting up, getting ready, because they had to walk to school. But anyway, back when you had to do breakfast, or how can I put it? You ate early in the morning. That's to give you energy. But what really did they eat in the morning? I think that's when they ate their heaviest. So if you're working on a farm, of course, you're eating to get that nutrient. So back then the bread was real thick, but it was the correct bread because there was no GMO. They ate straight living food. They ate straight right from how they pick the grapes off the vines. And what we do, I don't know where you from, meaning when you was little, you went to the supermarket, or did you go to a farmer's market, or did you go to, did you go in your backyard to pick off the farm? Well, did I say that right? Well, let me say it again. When you was growing up, did you go to supermarket, farmer's market, or did you have food in your backyard to eat? When I grew up, I went to supermarkets. There wasn't really no farmer's market. And, I lived in New York. My mother didn't have a farm. I mean, have a bed on the fire escape of a raised plant bed. All we had was plants, and you couldn't eat those plants. So it's like, what did you have? So all I was saying is, it all depends on your life. It all depends on, okay, so we got up, you wanted your children to eat. You wanted your children to eat, but it's what did we give them? We've been giving them sugar. But imagine if you had fruit, straight fruit. Imagine if you had vegetables. How would your health be right now? Because I was thinking about my health. How would my health be right now? Would I had all those surgeries? Would I realize that I shouldn't be eating dairy milk, You would realize your whole health and your whole life and the way we are right now would be different. Because back then, like, the cow milk was different. And you like, how different? I ain't gonna go there because y'all know the milk is different. Y'all know the wheat's different. We want 100% crops versus, when granddaddy or grandma out there, producing crops. The crops, if it died, it just died. If it got infested with bugs, it just got infested with bugs. So it's whatever came up that year. That's how you ate, and that's how you stored up for the winter, because that's what you did. You store up. Now we just go to a grocery store. We just go and we buy everything, and we just buying so much food, and we wasting food. Come on. If you actually go and look at how much food we buy versus how much we really use and how much we really eat, we waste so much food. You're like, dang, that's where my going out money and going on a cruise or going on vacation money is. I got to throw that in there. But we realize how much we waste, and we waste a lot. And then now with, everything that's going on, we got to stock up. We got to stock up canned food that really we shouldn't be eating. We should be canning our foods because we don't know how to can. We got to learn, and then you got to learn the right way and learn from the right people. But it's just so much. But I don't believe in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just believe in eating a meal, and it should be like a 4 to 5 hour period. All depends on if you eat meat. So if you eating meat, you should wait 4 to 5 hours in between that meal. And even like, who could wait 4 to 5 hours in between that meal? Come on. Who can? You be like, let me just eat this bread, or let me just eat this, And I'm even talking about fruit. I wouldn't even eat fruit. I'd rather drink kombucha. I'd rather you drink kombucha tea. If you got to eat meat in the morning, got to eat meat in the afternoon. I just rather you drink kombucha. I really would. But that was just me. That was my personal opinion. A lot of people don't really think about it. They just think they got to. I mean, think of people who say, well, I miss lunch. And you'd be like, well, was you really hungry? You miss lunch. Why? Sometimes it's best. Sometimes doing an intermittent fasting is actually saving your life. A lot of people don't realize that. You actually saving your life when you miss that one meal. And to miss a whole meal that whole day, and I'm not talking about due to finance, I'm talking about you just busy. To miss that whole meal that whole day, your body be like, thank you. Your body be like, I knew you wouldn't. But imagine the people who really think that. They be like, man, I miss lunch. I got to have breakfast. I got to have lunch. I got to have dinner. But they're not even hungry. They just doing it because they think they got to. They have to. And that's what I'm speaking of. Imagine if you just don't feel like eating for that day. But if you don't feel like eating for like 3 days, 4 days, well, 3 days is cool. But 4 or 5 days, then why, why? Then there's a reason why you're not eating. But if you're drinking and you're juicing and you're doing like taking herbal supplements and you're really doing something like that, that is fine. But you still need to eat. And basically, bottom line, I'm just saying that you're just eating just for nutrients. That's it. You're just eating for nutrients. The fact that we eating pizza, we eating burgers, there's no nutrients. There's no nutrients in it. All we did was put a whole bunch of grease, a whole bunch of nothingness in our bodies. Yes, you're getting that sugar. You're getting that grease. But hence, that's when, if you keep eating like that, people be having heart attacks and strokes, and they be like, how? I ate. What killed me? They can't say that until they go to the coroners, and they be like, the loved ones be like, my daddy and my mother ate well. They ate the American diet. And then you go look and you read, and it says they died of a blocked artery. They died of a massive, blockage in their heart. And you be like, their heart gave out, but they missed what they said. All they hearing is their heart gave out. They're not hearing a blocked artery. They're not hearing, oh, you should have got a stent, or you need a filter, or you need this, you need that. They're not getting it. You're not getting it. And it's like, man, it's not till after. It's not till after. You're like, so if I would have did this or ate more of this, and then don't think because you're a vegan, I'm gonna put that out there, and you're a vegetarian, you're healthier. No, you're not. You're not. It's what you decide to eat. Like all plant-based is excellent, but even plant-based is where you getting your plant-based from. Because we getting all this meatless stuff, and it's they got to make their money some kind of way. Let's just cut it. They got to make their money some kind of way. So, but if you go home and eat a plant-based home, you'll be healthier than eating a lot of plant-based outside. I'll just keep that clean, because all in all we got to do is just make sure we look at the healthiness. We shouldn't wait till we go to the doctor to go, what's wrong with me? Because you already know. You already know, because it's like, between, let's say, if you are diabetic as a child, and if you don't change your diet and you're still eating meat and still eating a basic American diet, between 10 and 15 years, you will get high blood pressure. I said will. I didn't say may, can't, did. You will, because you're not changing. You're just, full, you get full, you want to sleep, you want to take a nap. You're not exercising, not being in the sun. You're not checking your vitamins and minerals, which we don't even think about. Be like, oh, it's in the food. It's in the food. Well, where are you getting your food? Really? Where is the cook in that house getting the food? Where they getting it? Are they growing it themselves? Are they bartering with their neighbors? Hey, you got them okra? You got them collard greens? Are they doing that? No, we're going to the supermarket. We're getting them plastic bags, and we thinking we doing what we got to do. And you were like, is this right? But you're more healthier than the average person. I gotta put that in there, because it's levels. It's levels to this health game. It's do you want to die early, or do you want to live a right old age of in your 90s? This is what it is. If you want to check out in your 40s, 30s, and 50s, keep eating just anything and everything. But if you want to check yourselves and making sure that you're not, because it's like hard when you see your grandparents or your mom or your dad or even your children in the bed sick. It just does something to you. It makes you change. And that's the only way you change, especially when you hear death or somebody died. That's when people check, go check. Okay, what you eating? Stop eating this. That's when, and then a week later, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, you right back to the same thing. You're right back to the same thing. But look, anybody have any other questions? She said, what benefits of kombucha tea? I've heard soursop tea is excellent. I just want you to do, now, kombucha is yeast. Kombucha is like fermented tea, and it's the best. This gives you live probiotics. Live. So we're talking about good gut bacteria. That's the main reason why you want this fermented tea. The main reason, because it gives you those live bacteria that we need. I know I do sometimes I buy the CTS kombucha. Because I gotta redo my SCOBY. I gotta redo it. I gotta get with Miriam and redo my whole kombucha. You see, I got the book, but this is like the best that you can get for as fermented foods. So, but the soursop tea, you already know soursop kick ass on the cancer. Look, we're talking about cleaning out your body. We're talking about putting good yeast, because it's yeast, and when you make, you be like, dang, Viola, you put a lot of sugar in there, but you're getting the after stuff. And you look, when you leave it too long, you can make some vinegar. Yes, you can make vinegar. So you'd be like, dang, yes. So if you know what apple cider vinegar do for your body, you already know what kombucha does. So I would get it. The best thing for you, I'm telling you, the exact best thing. But it's like you don't overdo it. I ain't telling you to get some kombucha and eat it, drink it 4 or 5 times a day. No. 2 or 3 glasses is good. Don't go in there and think you're supposed to too much of a good thing is true. Too much of a good thing. Same thing, you don't want to overhydrate yourself. No, because you're just killing yourself. And you just like the vitamins and minerals. We pay good money for these herbs. So why would I want to go flush them out my system? Why would I want to do that? I want the herbs to get in there and absorb right. A lot of us, we go and we taking our vitamins, like, I got the Pure One vitamins. Don't go take your vitamins and drink 12 ounces of water. 4 ounces is good. And just wait, let them absorb, let them get in there. Wait, at least I would look. If you don't really know, then I would wait at least 2 hours. I would do 2 hours. I'm not going to sit here because look, everybody's different. Everybody's different. When you take vitamin D, you should have, a little bit of food in your system. And just make sure I read it. Because we say take with food, And I ain't say take with dairy milk, but take with food. But sometimes we do things wrong. We go when we overlap, or we think we're supposed to take all our vitamins at one time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because sometimes you take these herbs and you go when you want to take with your medication. That's like the worst. That's like the worst. Wait 4 hours. And I try to do things on an empty stomach. I try to do a lot of my herbals and on an empty stomach. Because I'd be like, I want it absorbing. Because look, when I found out I was low bone density, because that's still vitamin D deficient. Still vitamin D deficient. But what minerals are you lacking? Do your doctor talk about minerals? I'm trying to think. I know they ever talk about your potassium level and your iron level. But do they talk about, are you getting magnesium, potassium? Do they really even bring up that, or only when you're pregnant? I don't know about you, but that's what I heard. All these minerals and vitamins only when I was pregnant. But what happened to the other times? I know they're quick to give us vitamin D, but are you absorbing the vitamin D? I know. Same thing. It's with the health. Same thing. Are you getting? Or are you absorbing it? Because you need magnesium, right? Even with the vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium, it needs absorbing your body. A lot of people, like, you notice your children, if the first one, we trying to get everything right. We be like, sterile this, sterile that. You have the second one, you be like, oh, they can get dirty. The third one, everything's out the door. But the minerals, you can see the health of your child, who you gave the minerals to, who you didn't give the minerals to. Same thing they do on these study tests when they do these lab rats and crap. Who's getting the minerals? We need the minerals. We need the minerals. But family, I know I wasn't trying to go over on this video. I'm already over an hour. Do anybody have any other questions? So, you're saying we're programmed. Is that what you're saying? Yes, we are programmed. I don't know if that's what you're saying, Henry, but yeah, we are programmed thinking that we got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can miss breakfast. It all depends, like your children. I would rather them to have either straight fruit or, herbalist Luna, which is wellness, herbal wellness. I would have her muffins, but I would rather them eat fruit or vegetables in the morning. Nothing else. And raw. For lunch, steam some vegetables. And for dinner, y'all know how to get down. Y'all already know how to get down. Because you want their lymphatic system working, flawlessly. You want them doing some exercise, some strength training. You want them to do some meditation, but you want them to clean their bodies out. Because a lot of us were clogged, we're sick. A lot of us need to go to the chiropractor to get stretched out. Because a lot of us are like, it depends on how you was birthed and what you did as a child. And, I was hearing some wonderful things last Monday about, chiropractor. And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about me with my pinched nerve. You thought when I had a pinched nerve that you would send me to a chiropractor? No, I went to physical therapy and none of that shit worked. Ended up having surgery. And I said, I wished I'd have known about going to I would have paid. I don't care. I would have paid them. I would have paid the money for the chiropractor. But it's a lot of things that I'm not going to lie. A lot of things I would have paid for because I was like, man, if I'd have known the stuff I don't know now, that's why I'm just giving it to you like a big hose. Like, yeah, let me just tell y'all. Let me just tell you. But I tell you gradually, but yeah. It's just the things that we know, we don't know. We wish you would have, could have, and all the other stuff. And it's like, I'm not regretting it, but as long as you changing, as long as you realizing, you're not still causing the traffic jam, you're still, showing them the easiest things to do, the basic things, so we can be here a little longer and, not have our children leave here before us. We don't want our children leaving here before us, because if y'all not seeing how diabetes, high blood pressure, what else? Some children have lupus and a lot of cancer, having liver disease, and stuff going on with their kidneys, their pancreas, and no one think about their spleen. Y'all don't think about the spleen. All they go is okay, and then the asthma with the lungs. I mean, it's like those are not childhood diseases. Not childhood diseases, but family, I'm gonna end for now. If there's no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end. So look, you guys, happy Friday. Look, Friday, what you need to do, get y'all some kombucha. I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna love it. They have all different flavors. All different flavors. Make sure you read it. Make sure you read which one you get. I'm not gonna say I recommend CTS. I'm not, but just try it. Get y'all some kombucha. This weekend, try some kombucha. You be like, dang, this is good. And it does, it's like soda. It is. You be like, Viola, you shouldn't drink soda. Get you some kombucha. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So look, this weekend, try it. But all right, family, I'm gonna end now. You guys have a great weekend. Bye, family.